You're disciplined, you train hard, you work on yourself every single day. And yet, you feel overwhelmed. Not tired from work, but tired from not knowing if it is leading somewhere. You don't know if what you're building will still matter in a year or two, but you tell yourself, it's fine, I'll grind harder, I'll figure it out. Stop. The problem isn't your discipline, it's that you're applying it without strategy. And today, I want to show you the exact shift that separates people who stay busy forever from those who build calm, controlled, intentional lives. 1. Why discipline alone isn't enough. Most people believe discipline is the answer to everything. Wake up early, work harder, push through discomfort, outlast everyone else. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Discipline without direction doesn't create freedom, it creates exhaustion. If all you do is react to deadlines, to bills, to emails, to crises, then discipline just makes you better at surviving chaos. You become efficient but not intentional, busy but not progressing. That's because discipline is a tool, and tools are useless without a plan. 2. Tactical versus strategic thinking. Here's the distinction most people never learn. Tactical thinking is reactive. It asks, how do I fix this right now? What's the next thing I need to deal with? How do I survive today? Tactical thinking is firefighting. A problem appears, you rush to fix it, you move on, until the next fire. Strategic thinking is different. It asks, why does this keep happening? What glitch in the system is creating this problem? How do I design my life so this stops repeating? Let me give you a simple example. You're short on money at the end of the month. Tactical thinking panics, borrows, scrambles, pays the bill, and forgets. Strategic thinking asks, why am I always here? Is this my income, my spending, my timing, or my structure? One approach keeps you busy, the other moves you forward. That's why so many people feel productive but not evolving. 3. Direction beats effort. Most disciplined people get trapped here. They believe, if I just work harder, things will eventually fall into place. But effort without direction is wasted energy. The Stoic philosopher Seneca put it perfectly. If a man knows not to which port he is sailing, no wind will blow in his favor. You can row all day, you can exhaust yourself, you can be strong and committed, but without a destination, you'll just drift faster. Strategic thinkers don't ask, what should I do today? They ask, where do I want to be in 5 years? And what kind of person gets there? This isn't daydreaming, it's orientation. Research shows people with clear, long-term goals are significantly more likely to achieve them, not because they predict the future, but because every decision starts pointing in the same direction. Pause here. Ask yourself, how do I want my days to feel? What problems do I no longer want to fight? Where do I want to be in 5 years? That's your port. 4. Strategy isn't motivation, it's design. Most people try to change their lives with willpower. That's why they fail. Willpower fades under stress, and life is stressful. Strategic thinkers don't rely on motivation, they rely on design. If your phone constantly distracts you, that's not weakness, it's bad design. If your money disappears every month, that's not a moral flaw, it's a broken system. Strategy means designing your environment so the right actions become the default. Examples: you want focus, remove notifications before they steal it from you. You want savings, automate transfers before you can spend. You want better thinking, protect your mornings from noise. This isn't self-help, it's architecture. And people who design their environment around their goals are far more likely to follow through, not because they're stronger, but because they stop fighting themselves. And in a moment, I'll show you the one mistake disciplined people make that keeps them trapped in the grind. 5. The stats screen. Most of us treat life like a button-mashing fighting game. They just keep swinging. Wake up, swing. Work, swing. eat, swing, sleep, swing. They hope that if they hit the buttons fast enough, they'll win. But the strategic thinker does something the button masher never sees. They hit pause. In a video game, you have a HUD, a heads-up display. It tells you your HP, your health bar, your XP, your experience, and your stamina. In real life, we play blind. You might be grinding for career XP for 10 hours a day while your health bar is flashing red at 5%. That isn't heroic. That is mathematically stupid. If your HP hits 0, it's game over. The career XP won't matter anymore. Strategy is the refusal to play blind. It is the weekly audit where you look at your bars and ask, I am rich in money but poor in time. Why am I still grinding for money? Stop trying to max out every stat at once. You can't. Look at the HUD, fix the flashing red bar, then resume the game. Once you see your life clearly, the next question becomes obvious. Where does my effort actually matter? 6. The sniper. Leverage. This brings us to the most important rule of strategy. Leverage. The hard worker is a soldier with a machine gun. He thinks, if I fire 1,000 bullets, I'll eventually hit the target. He's trading energy for results. It works, but it's exhausting and expensive. The strategic thinker is the sniper. They don't want to work hard. They want to be right once. This is called leverage. Leverage is finding the one heavy domino that knocks down all the others. Let me give you a real example. If you're broke, the tactical move is to drive an Uber on weekends. You trade 10 hours for $200. That is a linear trade, machine gun fire. The strategic move is to spend those 10 hours learning how to automate your workflow or learning AI. You trade 10 hours for a skill that pays you dividends for the next 10 years. Tactics spend time. Strategy invests time. One buys you today, the other buys you freedom. So ask yourself, are you spraying bullets or are you aiming? There's a mathematical law that governs your progress, and most people ignore it. It's called the Pareto principle. It states that 80% of your results come from just 20% of your activities. The hustler tries to move all 100 stones. He thinks every task is equal. The strategic thinker realizes that 80 of those stones are just heavy rocks. They're busy work. Emails, minor tweaks, useless meetings. Only 20 of those stones are gold. If you have 10 hours of work today, 2 of those hours will determine your entire future. The other 8 hours are just maintenance. Strategy isn't about doing more. It's about having the courage to ignore the 80% that doesn't move the needle so you can put all your energy into the 20% that does. 7. From reaction to design. Here's the shift. You stop asking, what do I need to deal with next? And start asking, what am I designing? You stop reacting to life. You start shaping it. Vision guides decisions. Decisions shape systems. Systems shape habits. Habits shape results. Results reinforce vision. That's not motivation. That's strategy. You don't need to predict the future. You need to create conditions that work no matter what happens. 8. The calm advantage. Strategic thinking doesn't make you aggressive, it makes you calm, because when you know where you're going, uncertainty stops being threatening. You're no longer grinding blindly, you're building intentionally. So start small. Write your 5-year direction. Change one system. Make one decision that serves the long view. Your life is your most important project, and with strategy, you're no longer just playing the game, you're designing it. If you're done reacting and ready to design, like the video, subscribe, and write your 5-year direction below. Not for me, for you. And I'll see you in the next one.